Have you ever carried a secret so heavy, so powerful, that just holding it felt like holding the weight of the world? A secret that, if revealed, could change everything, and nobody would see it coming. Today, I'm about to take you inside a story where one truth quietly lived, hidden from everyone, waiting for the exact right moment to surface. And believe me, once you hear this, you'll understand why some secrets are too big to stay silent. It all started in the smallest moments, moments that seemed ordinary at first. A glance here, a whisper there, but behind those small signs, something huge was waiting to be uncovered. People around me had no idea what was really happening. Nobody could guess the truth that was quietly shaping every choice, every step, every heartbeat. And the craziest part, I almost let it slip. Not because I wanted to, but because keeping it in became harder than anyone could imagine. Secrets have a way of twisting reality. They make you question what's right, what's wrong, and even what's possible. I began noticing small changes in the way people looked at each other, in the way conversations ended abruptly, in the things left unsaid. Something was brewing behind the scenes. Something nobody knew. Something that could flip everything upside down. And every time I tried to ignore it, my heart wouldn't let me. Here's where it gets even more gripping. Because the truth wasn't just about one person. It was about all of us, about decisions made in silence, about promises whispered and never repeated, and about the moment when all of it could explode. And nobody would be prepared. Imagine knowing something that could change someone's life completely, yet being trapped, unable to share it, unable to act, only watching the world move forward, completely unaware. I remember the first time I realized the impact. It hit me in a quiet room, where no one else was there, and suddenly, everything became crystal clear. A choice made years ago, a hidden fact nobody ever noticed, was quietly influencing every outcome, every relationship, every expectation, and I held the key to it all. It was terrifying and thrilling at the same time, the kind of secret that keeps you awake at night, the kind that makes your heart race with fear and excitement all at once. And then the tension grew, because the longer I kept it hidden, the more dangerous it became. Every conversation, every look, every interaction added layers to the mystery, layers that nobody could see. But I felt them everywhere, like the air itself was charged with what could happen if the truth finally came out. And I knew one thing: when this secret is finally revealed, nothing, and I mean nothing, will ever be the same. Have you ever felt that fear? The kind that sits in your chest and won't let you breathe, because you know a single word could change everything. That's what this was. Every day, every hour, every second. I carried it, and every time someone smiled at me, or trusted me, or shared a little of their world, I thought about the moment when the truth might finally escape, and what it would do, and who it would hurt, or save. But here's the most shocking part. Even though nobody knew, even though the world seemed calm, everything was already shifting. The secret had its own rhythm, its own timing, its own way of waiting for the exact moment to make its presence known. And I could feel it, like an invisible force, moving all around me, preparing for the day it would no longer be hidden. And trust me, that day is coming. So now I ask you, imagine holding something so big, so powerful, so life-changing, and knowing the world will never expect it. What would you do? Or would you find the courage to reveal it, knowing everything could change in an instant? And that's why this story continues. Because the secret is still alive, still hidden, still waiting for the exact right moment to surface. And when it does, nobody will be ready. The next days, Every moment felt heavier than the last. I couldn't shake the feeling that the secret was moving on its own, almost like it had a life separate from mine. And every time I tried to focus on normal life, it pulled me back, reminding me that one word, one choice, one slip, could set off a chain reaction no one would ever expect. I started noticing little signs everywhere. People acting differently, conversations stopping when I entered the room, whispers that faded when I tried to listen. It was subtle, almost invisible, but I felt it, and I knew that this secret, this quiet, hidden truth, was about to collide with reality in ways I couldn't yet predict. And then came the moment that made my heart stop, an unexpected message, a sudden encounter, a chance meeting. Nothing seemed important at first, but deep inside, I felt the pulse of change. My mind raced with questions. Was the secret already slipping through the cracks? And if it had, what would happen next? My chest tightened with anticipation and fear, because I realized that even keeping it hidden wasn't enough anymore. It was alive, and it was moving. I tried to distract myself, to act normal. But every glance, every sound, every shadow reminded me the secret was everywhere. And the strangest thing, the people around me had no idea, absolutely no clue, while I carried a weight that could alter everything. Everything they believed in, everything they trusted, everything they thought they knew. And yet, even with all the tension, there was something exhilarating about it. The knowledge that I held the key to a truth nobody else could see, the power to shift the course of lives, quietly, subtly, but completely. It was dangerous, yes, but thrilling, because I understood that some secrets aren't meant to stay buried forever. They're meant to change everything when the time is right, and I could feel that time approaching faster than I wanted. Have you ever held something so important, so life-changing, and wondered if you were ready for the consequences? That's exactly where I was, trapped between the comfort of silence and the fear of revealing what I knew, and every passing hour made the decision more impossible. Because the longer I waited, the stronger the secret's pull became, like a quiet storm brewing, ready to erupt at any moment. And here's the part that will make you stay on edge. The people around me, the ones I trusted, the ones I loved, had no idea that their world could change in an instant. And yet their every word, every action, every choice was being influenced, unknowingly, by the secret that I carried. Imagine living in a world where everything seems normal, but one hidden truth is quietly rewriting reality. That's what I was living. And now, the tension isn't just inside me anymore. It's out there, in the air, in the spaces between conversations, in the glances people share, without realizing what they're saying. And I know, deep in my heart, that very soon, someone or something will trigger it, and the secret will no longer be mine alone. When that happens, nothing will ever be the same. So now I ask you, imagine the moment you've been waiting for, the moment the secret bursts into the open. Will you be ready for the truth? Will you be able to handle it when everything you thought was real shifts in an instant? And that's why this story isn't over. It's only just beginning, because the secret is still alive, still waiting, and the moment of revelation is closer than ever. The night fell, and with it came a strange silence, a quiet that felt heavier than any sound. I could sense the secret moving in the shadows, waiting, watching like it had its own heartbeat. Every instinct in me screamed that something was about to happen, something I couldn't control, and yet I couldn't look away. I walked through familiar places, the streets, the rooms, the quiet corners where I thought I was alone. But the secret followed, almost as if it were aware that I was trying to ignore it. Every small noise, every flicker of light made me jump, made my heart pound faster, because I knew that if even one detail slipped out, the consequences could be unimaginable. And then it happened, a moment so small at first, a glance, a word, a touch, something that seemed meaningless to everyone else, but to me it was everything. That tiny moment carried the weight of the secret, the weight of all the possibilities, and I felt the world shift slightly, almost imperceptibly, but enough to know that the calm was over. People continued their routines, completely unaware, laughing, talking, living, as if nothing could change. And that's when I realized the full power of what I held. I was the only one who knew, the only one who could decide when, how, or if this secret would emerge. And that responsibility, that weight, made every step I took feel like walking on a fragile thread over a deep abyss. One wrong move, one careless word, and everything would collapse. And yet, the thrill was undeniable, because I also knew that some secrets aren't meant to stay hidden forever, that the truth has a way of finding its moment. And I couldn't stop thinking about that moment, the moment when the hidden would become visible, when everyone would finally understand, when reality would shift, and nothing would ever be the same again. I tried to imagine the reactions, the shock, the disbelief, the chaos, and my chest tightened with both fear and anticipation. Could they handle it? Could anyone truly be prepared for something so life-changing, something that had been quietly shaping their world from the shadows?